Guys, we're back. Movies Don't Suck podcast, episode 5. So a couple new voices on the show today. Aaron, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Thank
Feeling
you for
good?
having me. I'm feeling great. Thank you for having me again.
Awesome.
Excited.
Awesome. And another friend, Mike. What's going on, man? How are you?
Very good, very good. Happy to be here.
Feeling good?
I am. Excited.
All right. Awesome. So I don't know if you guys heard, but a little event happened last week called the Oscars. And I don't know. I feel like for me it was a bit of a mixed bag. I'll throw it around the room, get your opinions on it. I thought there was some good stuff that was really, I was entertained. It kept at a decent pace. But there were other times where I was just like, this is absurd. They were just going all in all directions.
I agree.
I've still said, and I don't know, tell me how you guys feel. They need a host.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
I don't understand why they just constantly just ignored it like it's not a thing.
Yeah, safe bet.
You think they're just worried about?
I think they're worried about controversy, and I think it's a safe bet for them.
But you got to figure at this point now too. You're like 1 year they did it last year, and you say okay they're trying something. They're trying to just figure it out. Okay, but then now a second year where it's so clear that it just makes no sense to have celebrities come on.
No.
And then hey, introduce another celebrity to do something. It kills the whole flow of the show.
It does kill the absolute flow. I think this is the pinnacle where they have to now choose. Either they move forward with no host indefinitely, or they have to go with a host next year.
What do you think they're gonna do?
I think they're gonna have to go with a host. I think they're gonna choose a host.
So, Mike, what do you think? You think they're gonna?
They got to bring it back for sure. You're absolutely right about it. Like ruining the flow of the show, it kills it. And you see it like it started off well with Steve Martin and Chris Rock coming out.
Which was great.
It was, and then from there it was pretty downhill. There was a couple of fun moments, but most of the time it does destroy the flow of the show.
Do you think they're just that worried about controversy?
They absolutely are. They absolutely are. Because you know why? Because there's always going to be somebody that's going to get upset about something, and they just like we don't want any of this. Mm-hmm. But it's the lowest rated show from what I understand.
It's been dropping off.
But I think this is the lowest ever. I heard that. I'm not. I haven't.
No, you're right. It's dropped off. It's the lowest it's ever been.
Mm-hmm. So they're going to bring. I think enough people have said they need a host. They're going to hear it, and they're going to do whatever it takes.
I think you're right, because a lot of people have said that part of the reasons why the ratings are so far down is because they don't have a host to latch onto. So part of the reason is they don't have anything to look forward to other than the movies that they might want to see. Mm-hmm. They don't have that name like a Chris Rock or Steve Martin or Billy Crystal. And I've even thought a couple years ago Ellen DeGeneres was pretty decent.
She was great.
Yeah,
so, and I'm not a big fan of hers, but I thought she was good.
Yeah.
So, but now people who don't pay attention as much to movies like we do don't have that name to latch onto to say, oh, I'm going to watch the Oscars because X is hosting. They don't have that. It's just, who's hosting this year?
Yes.
No, nobody.
Yeah.
So they don't have any reason to really care.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it's just a mess. So I would say once and for all, they just got to have the host. I don't know why they've just waited any longer and just go for it. But after that, so just for the show itself, did you guys feel like the pacing was good? Did you like the musical numbers? Or did you feel like they just should just move away from that?
I think there's a little bit too much of the musical. It's just too many.
I've heard a few people say that.
Too many musical moments, too many musical pieces. I find myself just drifting off, hitting my phone. I don't care.
Really? What do you think of Eminem coming out?
That was probably the biggest highlight because he was supposed to be on the Oscars years prior.
Yes, when he won for Lose Yourself.
Yes.
He sent like a hippie up on stage with a Detroit Pistons jersey on. I swear to God, he did.
Oh my God.
Whoever it was, I don't know.
Yeah,
That long-haired guy.
I don't remember who that was.
Barbara Streisand gave him the award, and she was like shocked.
Oh,
She was like
I don't remember
visibly
that.
shocked. I
that was like
remember,
17, 18 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I love the Oscars, even though I love and hate the Oscars at the same time.
Yeah.
But I've watched them since I was young.
Yeah, me
very
too.
young.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I've been watching since like 2001.
The audio was
2002.
a little fucked up during the performance.
It was weird.
It
Yeah,
was
like
I don't know if it
couldn't
was
tell.
supposed to be going in and out, if he was doing it on purpose or skipping notes or.
Yeah,
It was
that
a
was
little-
odd because some people said he
little
lost his breath. He was like losing.
It was a little weird. I didn't know if he had not practiced enough, if he was a little nervous in front of all the peers.
It was strange because
It was
I liked
strange.
seeing him there, but I was like, also, why is he here? I was
Yeah,
like, why is he here?
yeah.
I love Eminem, I'm
Yeah.
fan, but I was like, why is he here? This is
Yeah.
strange. They were really going for some shock.
Yeah, no,
Shot
it's,
value,
and it's
yeah.
funny too. Like with the man who puts the most misogynistic lyrics
Yes.
out there.
Yes.
That's a
and
great point.
He's like out there. Why? And why was he there?
It felt weird. He's like, oh, I'm coming back after all these years later. I didn't want to come. I'm making up for it. I'm like, do you really have to make up
They
for it
wanted
17
to get
years
like
later?
the Photoshop or photo opportunity with him and Elton John backstage.
Oh, that's true. That could have been a part of it. So, all right, guys. So, as for the awards themselves, let's go into the actual categories. Was there anything in particular in terms of the winners and losers that stood out for you? Was there a particular movie that stood out? Was there a particular award that shocked you? What was something that you just felt was just not what you were expecting in general?
Me personally,
Yeah.
The Irishman not winning anything.
It surprised me, but it
That-
didn't surprise me too. I thought it should have gotten
Something.
I wish it got visual effects.
Yes, I agree. Yes, completely.
It should have.
Yeah,
it
you
just
thought that was
wasn't
going to
its-
happen. You thought, yeah.
That was my prediction, but also my hope. And you know how you always have your hope and your prediction are
Right.
usually a lot of times different. But I just don't think it was Irishman's year. I saw it coming, and I think the fact that it was Netflix and they kind of were beefing with the industry a little bit beforehand kind of hurt its chances a little bit.
Right.
There's a lot of good movies this year, you know, and The Irishman was one of many.
Right. I just think they were totally snubbed, and I'm not sure
Yeah.
why. How many nominations? 10, 11?
10.
10?
No. Was it not, Irishman had 10?
Yeah, 10 because
And
Joker had 11.
Right. Okay. I'm looking at it right now. I was going to say, yeah.
And how many wins did Joker have? One or two?
Two.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think it should have gotten at least one.
I agree.
We were
I thought about this, and that's why I picked it to get visual effects because I
Right.
knew it wasn't going to get supporting actor. I
Or
knew that was
screenplay, or you said what you thought.
I thought it was possible to get screenplay. Yeah.
Right.
It
or
is
supporting actor with Joe Pesci, right?
I was rooting
mean,
for Pesci. I told you guys.
I would have
was rooting
liked
for
to have
Pesci.
seen that just more for nostalgic purposes.
Right,
He was
right.
great in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he was the best one out of the three in the movie.
I agree.
You loved Pacino though too.
I did. I
He
loved
loved
Pacino.
Pacino.
They were all
I did.
good.
They were all three. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what's
they
fun
were-
about The Irishman is that
Yeah.
all three you can argue all three of them.
All outstanding performances.
De Niro didn't even get a nomination.
No, he didn't. That's what's surprising. And he helped put that whole movie together.
Did he?
I heard he helped put a
Really?
lot behind it. But the visual effects thing was weird though because I'm looking at these nominees right now. And yeah, okay, you had Irishman, you had Avengers. I would have personally liked The Lion King to win because I love The
Really?
Lion
Oh, of
King.
course, yeah, of
and
course.
Star Wars, of course. So I
Of course.
expected
Lion
that.
Right.
King won, right?
No, it was 1917.
Oh, okay. I'm fine with that.
But I
fine
know what
with
I
that.
am too, and they definitely used visual effects in a better way. They
don't know
blended
if
it so well. But I don't know if it's the best.
I don't know
'cause
if it's
was-
the best.
It was seamless and it was very well done, but I don't think it was the best.
I think it was. I think it was. You know how I feel about those other nominees, the Lion King and Star Wars or the Avengers. They're cartoons to me.
You know, my difference
They
is how revolutionary were the films for visual effects. I mean, The Irishman.
Subtlety is so much better, man.
I mean, 1917 to me is another Saving Private Ryan. It's in the same field and category of other war movies we've seen. Nothing really truly extraordinary in the field that it's being shot in.
well,
but-
I agree with that.
well,
I agree
mean,
with that.
the whole one take gimmick was a new way of showing a familiar story,
Right.
And I think part of that whole gimmick ties into the visual effects.
I agree.
I don't even think it got nominated for editing.
Best
sure.
film editing. You are correct. It did not get nominated for film
Okay,
editing.
so-
Ford v Ferrari won for that one.
I can
Did
see
it
that
really?
because it's a
Yeah,
classic.
that's a surprise,
I've heard
man.
people. Listen, I'll admit I don't know a lot about editing, but I've heard
I
people
don't
who know a lot
know,
about
now that I
editing
think about
say
it.
that thing just absolutely deserved.
Well, it's car racing, so it's kind of the bottom.
Yeah,
of the
but
and
now
yeah.
that I wouldn't have picked. I mean, like, damn, how many times are they going to show him pushing the clutch like that same shot?
Yeah, no, I agree. I love. I told you I love Ford v Ferrari.
It was a good movie.
It was a
I
very
liked
good
it.
movie. Listen, I probably would have went with Endgame for visual effects or Lion King, but I understand. I get what the Academy was trying to do.
I appreciate its subtlety.
Okay, yeah,
You know what I
17
mean?
is a master of subtlety.
And
with that.
it was, technically that movie's a masterpiece, and
I
the
agree.
special effects are part of the technicalities of it.
I think Aaron, you saying part of Irishman, losing. That was one of the losers of the night.
absolutely.
Netflix kind of got really. They had like
railroaded.
Yeah, like correct me if I'm wrong. They had like 24, 25 nominations, and the
did.
only thing that won was American Factory.
Yep.
Which I did like. It was a very good documentary.
Fantastic documentary.
We'll talk about that. I did enjoy that one. And then the other was Laura Dern for supporting
for
Marriage
Marriage
Story.
Story,
Yes.
Which, again, I've said this before. Marriage Story was good. It was well acted. I enjoyed it. I didn't think that movie was that great. I'm sorry. People have said that was on a lot of top 10s this year. I didn't love that movie. I just didn't. Laura Dern did a good job.
She deserved it, I think.
I would
mean,
say
like,
so.
I didn't see. To be fair, I didn't see all the other supporting.
Yeah, I didn't see all the
Nominees,
other ones
but-
either.
What were the
I
other
like Laura
nominees?
Dern. She was in Jurassic Park.
That's true. She's a she's a classic on that.
Yeah,
That is very true.
Let's see. What were the other?
She's held up in her age too. She's good looking.
Yeah,
broad
she does.
for
Yeah,
her
she
age.
still looks great. She's good for her. Okay, so the other nominees were Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell. I saw that. She
I
was
did
good in
not
that.
see that film.
Okay, Scarlett Johansson in Jojo Rabbit.
Okay.
Florence Pugh for Little Women.
Yep.
And Margot Robbie for Bombshell. And listen,
So
very,
I could see her winning that. for
Margot
sure,
Robbie
yeah.
was good at. Bombshell was all right. I enjoyed the movie. I didn't love it.
Right.
But I'll say this lineup, I probably would have went with Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell.
I didn't
She was
see it.
very. Yeah, I enjoyed it. That was a good movie. She gave a very like impassioned, powerful
Kathy
performance.
She's
Bates
been
is
a
always
great.
awesome.
Kathy Bates is always good.
And
Yeah.
she's always good in whatever she does.
That's true. All the time. You know, it's a lot of people says Carl Johansson was going to win
For Jojo
for
Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit because people love Jojo Rabbit and it won Best Original Screenplay.
I was very happy about that.
It's another movie. I didn't love that movie. I liked it. It was
Yeah,
good.
but I'm happy more. I didn't see it, but I'm happy about for Taika.
Taika, yeah, you like Taika Waititi.
I do.
so-
I do. I'm a
Oh,
fan.
yeah. So, okay. So what was the other one? Okay. So best supporting actor. I don't think any of us would really would argue Brad Pitt. I thought he did a great job. He went up against Tom Hanks, Anthony Hopkins,
His
Al
first
Pacino.
win, right? His first win.
Yes.
Yes, I believe.
Yes, I know he was nominated for supporting actor for 12 Monkeys, which was great.
Oh, he was
Fantastic
nominated
film.
for that.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know
Very
that.
early in his
Fantastic 90s
Yeah,
film.
and I think he was worthy of the nomination in that. It was a great performance.
Great performance.
I
He's
personally would
always
have went
good
Pesci.
at playing a crazy,
Crazy,
like
weird,
unhinged kind of
Fight Club kind of a
Exactly,
dude. Yes,
exactly.
I agree.
If you guys had a choice, would you have gone Pesci or Pacino? If you had a choice.
over Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
No, I wanted Brad.
Oh,
Pitt
you would
too.
have went Pitt.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Would you have
yeah.
done the same, Aaron, or would you have
No,
gone Pesci?
I think I would have went Pesci.
Really?
Pesci, yeah.
Okay.
I
so
wouldn't have been upset if
Me neither. I
would've
wasn't
been a
upset
little-
Pitt won.
yeah.
I was just a little bit more surprised.
I really,
Yeah, a little, because I thought Pesci or Pacino would win. I would have bet any amount of money Pesci or Pacino.
really, nah.
Yeah,
man.
because-
Brad
well,
Pitt
'cause I'm
was
betting two
riding the
guys.
wave, man.
You know?
Brad Pitt was taking it this year.
That's true. Okay, so let's move to the bigger categories. Did anyone see Judy Renee Zellweger win?
No, no. I
I
heard
didn't-
the movie and all. I heard it's
I never saw. Yeah, I didn't.
the
see
acting is.
I feel
great.
like of all these big movies, that's the one that people saw the least. I
think
heard
the box
no
office
buzz
was-
for that movie. Not a lot
What
of
was the
people
box
talking about
office?
it.
36 million.
Yeah, it was. I think it was even less than that.
Well, that's.
And listen, I
what's-
like-
What's the budget of it though?
Oh, yeah, not
probably
nothing.
like nothing. So it probably made money.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
it
I'm
made
sure it
money,
made
yeah.
money. Listen, I like Judy Garland, but other than the Wizard of Oz, I can't really speak
don't
a
know
lot to
anything really
her.
about her.
It's
Yeah.
like you're going way back there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's way before all
Yeah.
of our times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I heard the movie. I heard her performance is great in a decent movie.
Yeah.
I heard that too.
But to be fair, just I haven't seen it, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what I heard.
Okay. Okay. So the big one, guys. We all heard it. It was known, 10 minutes in advance. Everyone knew. Danny, you were saying it wasn't going to happen, but big shock. Joaquin Phoenix won for Best Actor.
No.
Danny was saying no. How confident were you, Danny, that it was going to happen?
I had a feeling it was going to happen, but I just really didn't want to.
You were pushing for Antonio, right? All right. So
Did
I heard
you
he
see
was
that
great.
movie? The Antonio Banderas
Yeah.
movie? Was it good?
It was good.
Damn,
I heard it's great. And I love that director that he works with a
Yeah,
lot.
Pedro
Almodovar.
Almodovar, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so
How do you
guys,
pronounce his name?
Almodovar, I believe. I listen. We know. Look, okay. He went up against Antonio Banderas, Leonardo DiCaprio, Driver, and Price.
Yep.
Two Popes was good. Jonathan Price, we knew he wasn't going to win. Driver had a shot. I think Driver had a shot, and I think Antonio Banderas had an outside shot. But I think Leo wasn't going to win, and we knew Phoenix was going to win.
Driver will get his due one of these.
Oh, he
days.
will.
He's a good.
Years.
He's a
One
good
of these
actor.
years.
Driver is
Yeah.
going to get it.
He's
He
gonna
is
be
so
around
good.
a long
yes,
time
yes.
for sure.
I completely.
Fair to say he's established himself as one of the top actors in
Yes,
Hollywood.
I can
Driver.
agree with that, yes.
Not bad considering he started as a side guy on that show Girls on HBO. I've been watching him since then.
And he's kind of ugly too.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Hollywood look. Yeah, he doesn't have that Hollywood look. He's very much like
They say he doesn't like to watch himself on screen.
He said he hates
He's
it.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I've
Really?
heard that he is super self-conscious, which I think is what people like about him. He's like endearing and he's like humbled.
Yeah.
So people appreciate him.
He'll be around. He'll get his one of these days.
Yeah.
Probably sooner rather than later.
I agree with that.
I agree. I
So
agree.
I guess we all say no argument against Phoenix. Masterful
No,
performance,
no.
great job.
Yeah,
can't
I was
say he's
rooting
a
for that.
weirdo.
I
No,
told
yeah.
you, Joker had 11 nominations. I
Yep.
said I want 2 of them, and it got the 2 I wanted. It got score and it got
The score,
Score
was,
was amazing.
That woman,
Yeah.
I can't pronounce her name. It's a
can't either.
long name. I'm sorry about that. I can't, but she is so friggin' good. She is a fantastic composer.
Yeah.
That,
The
that
score is
girl,
great.
she's got some career ahead
I
of
don't
her.
know what else she's done.
Is she
if
from
she's
like
done.
Iceland or like
I think
Finland
she's
or,
Yeah, somewhere over
Icelandic or
there.
Germanic or something. I'm not.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Oh, you're right. That's the other one I heard. I wasn't sure. That's
Nice.
That's a great show. Chernobyl was fantastic. So she
Thank
did
you.
Chernobyl and Joker. That's
Hands
man.
down.
So this girl's got some career ahead of
Well,
her.
now she's got her pick of whatever.
Oh yeah,
job
now she can just pick
wants
her
next.
project. Yeah, no, exactly.
Good for her. She
Yeah.
did great with that. Yeah, that everything about that movie I really liked too. You
Yeah.
know, and the score was one of the, along with the performance, was the things that stood out the most to me.
Oh,
You know?
really? All the specifics of just
Yeah. Like everything about the movie was great. The production design and stuff they did a really good job with, I thought. And like the costumes was nominated. I'm not upset that it lost or anything.
right.
like
Yeah,
that.
I didn't. Yeah, that didn't bother me.
But the score and obviously his performance to me were the two things that really stood out amongst a lot of really great.
I heard
things.
people say that where like the movie's great, but those were the things that stood out, and that's what won because those are the strongest parts.
Yeah.
I guess the other performance we could talk about is what happened when Joaquin Phoenix went up to get his award. We were all expecting something because all award season he's
didn't
been making
disappoint.
strange statements.
I thought he was acting.
Did you think it was just? I don't want to go too far into his political beliefs. It's fine,
it's
but
what it
he was
is.
talking about cows and milk
So
and
strange.
species, and I'm
So
like,
strange.
Can you just accept the award
Just
and
stop
just thank?
talking.
He was humbled. He said, I'm not better than
Yeah.
anyone else. I've been bad in the past. You guys have given
Yeah.
me a second chance in Hollywood. So I like that he came across as humbled. But I was looking forward to the speech because I liked the movie. And I just was like, Joaquin, what is going on here, man? It was so. Did it come off as strange to you, or did you just write
That's
it off?
exactly what I expected. You
It
know,
was-
he's a
you-
weird dude, man, and he's always been a weird dude. You know, he's had these. It wouldn't surprise me if this was all like another prank.
Oh, you think it was another act?
That's why I thought is he acting right now? Is he like is this some
he's
sort of
I don't know. From what I heard, his speeches, I heard like 3 of them.
yeah?
The Golden Globes one, the
All the
SAG.
same. They're all kind of lined up.
No, they were like like weird to gracious.
Okay.
And
Combination of both.
Yeah. So that Oscar one though was the one that really that one he was. I don't even
It
know
was
what to say
strange.
about
I was
it.
like, I
Yeah.
literally turned to my friend, and I was like, "What is he talking about right now? I don't understand. I don't understand this. This is just strange." So he kind of made.
He
his
won.
little
I'm
moment.
happy
Yeah,
about it.
he won. So I was
He
happy.
can do whatever he wants up there. I don't care.
All right, guys. So the big one of the night. The big last two. Best director and best picture. Bong Joon-ho and Parasite.
This is where I was happy with the show up
Yes.
until this point.
It was. I loved the movie. I thought it was great. It was my number 4 film of the year. I didn't think it deserved best picture and best director. I thought that was a little much for me.
I agree. It is a great movie. First of all,
Yeah,
it is.
it
But
is.
this is a year where we actually had a lot of really great movies. I think.
Yeah, a lot of
including
competition.
some that didn't even make it there. You know, like I know for you, which I didn't see, was the Adam Sandler movie.
Gems. I loved Uncut
Yes.
Gems. I thought that should have got
Uncut
some
Gems,
love.
yeah.
Didn't think
I
it had to
actually-
win. I wanted some love.
I thought
something,
the
yes.
Lighthouse should have gotten a little bit more love.
I agree. I didn't even love The Lighthouse as much as you, but I agree with that. It should have got, especially for acting. The
But-
acting was terrific.
But this year, usually every year is like 2 movies where it comes down to it's going to be La La Land or is it going to be Moonlight?
One or
is
the
it going
other.
to be Green Book? Is it
Right.
going to be Roma?
Right,
This
right.
year it could have gone to like 5 different movies. I
Very
think. I
true.
think Irishman. I think Joker.
Yeah.
1917.
Ford
Yeah.
v Ferrari, Jojo Rabbit. What else was on here? Little Women.
Nah,
we knew that wasn't going to win.
I don't-
and then Once
no,
Upon a Time in
Hollywood was
Hollywood.
my other one.
Yeah, he
Right,
was a
Once
big
Upon a Time.
lover of.
Yeah.
Once
I
Upon a Time
really
in
wanted
Hollywood.
it to
Great
get to
film.
Hollywood, but
Yeah.
more, there's more for many reasons. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of good competition this year. Parasite, as great as it was, and it definitely deserved foreign language Oscar.
Oh,
or
absolutely.
international.
Yes.
100%.
International.
Yes, I'm
brother.
sorry. You know, they changed it. They changed it there.
Yes.
International now.
Of course.
But 100% agree with you. It
Yes.
Yeah.
far and
and
away.
the screenplay, I'm not, after watching it
Yes,
finally.
I agree with that. I was
the
not worried.
screenplay is rock solid, you know.
Is I did not hate that decision at all. I was happy
Yeah.
for him. Bong Joon-ho went up there. Talk about a humbled guy. I think he garnered a lot of fans Oscar night.
He did?
He was very humbled. He was like, guys,
was,
I
he
didn't
was,
expect to
yeah,
win
no.
all this. I was just going to go home and have
Gave
a
shout outs to
party.
Tarantino and Scorsese.
I love that.
Yeah.
What a good
He
humble
mentions
guy.
Tarantino's lists,
Yes.
which is really cool.
That he's like, oh, he shouts me out on my
He
on
puts
the
our
list.
movies on my list.
Yes,
or
that
on
was-
his list and stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. You know, good. I'm happy for him,
Talented
and I'm
director.
excited now.
So
you know,
talented.
now Disney's gonna hire him to do the
think he's
next.
gonna take
yeah,
over?
they're gonna do the next Star Wars series, Phase 17.
Oh, you think so? Oh, you just keep going down the line.
Yeah.
It's Listen, I don't have a problem with Bong Joon-ho winning Best Director, but I do think, look, they could have gave it to Scorsese because
Mm-hmm.
just his legend, in the.
I mean, how many years did he work on The Irishman?
I
How many
know,
years?
and then hey, I knew Todd Phillips wasn't going to win. For me, and I know you love Tarantino this year. I would have went with Sam Mendes. Like you said, the pure technical
I would've-
craft of 1917 was so freaking good that I'm like, how do you not?
I
look at
wouldn't
what
have been upset if either of those guys won. Not Todd Phillips. You're right.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
no,
don't
he
think,
didn't know he
like,
was gonna get Best
yeah,
Director,
Very
no.
props to him for everything he did with that.
Absolutely,
movie.
did a
Bringing the film
fantastic
together,
job.
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it honestly surprised me. I mean, I thought it was going to be great before it came out, but like when I heard Todd Phillips is doing a dirty R-rated
Yeah, you love that.
gritty Joker movie. I'm like, oh man, Todd Phillips, couldn't they get like David Fincher?
Oh yeah, that would have been really cool.
Yeah,
if they
but
went
no,
like
he
really
did.
That
dark.
would've been a very dark.
Do that Mindhunter style of that. That would have
be a
been.
great
Yeah,
Batman
but-
choice.
Oh, absolutely. I
What we
agree.
got was great, I thought, so I can't complain about it. So good for Phillips, but Sam Mendes, yes, Scorsese, yes. I would have liked to have seen it going to Tarantino. I really would like to see him get a director Oscar.
Has he ever won for
No,
Best Director?
only he's won 2 screenplay Oscars.
Yes, he's on the screenplay
So
once.
never
He won for
directing.
Pulp Fiction and he won for Django.
Correct.
Okay.
Django.
Screenplay.
I love Django.
He's been nominated, I'm sure.
I'm sure multiple times.
But yeah, and his movies never won Best Picture.
so
Yeah.
he's due. So his 10th one's coming up.
That's
He
what I'm
hasn't announced
saying.
it, so-
That was part of my reason for really rooting for him. Because
he's
if he
got-
is indeed doing 10 movies,
Right.
his next movie,
Last chance.
yeah,
Yeah.
you never know. You never know. And this movie was a love letter to Hollywood. Hollywood loves itself.
It
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, Hollywood saves the
Yeah,
day.
it's very true.
I thought, like, damn, all these ingredients. He's primed. This guy has given us nothing but greatness.
Yeah.
Every time out.
Very true. Can't argue with that.
It was a tough category because I thought Mendes
course,
had it,
yeah.
but I'm like, oh, Tarantino and Scorsese
I
are
know.
here.
Yeah, that's
But
very
go
true.
But
anywhere.
it makes
Yeah.
me happy that there's that many good movies, and you know what I mean.
It's a good problem to have.
That's why it's great. That's why it was a
Yeah.
great year for movies.
Yeah.
There was
I
just
agree.
so many
I
great
agree.
choices.
for small movies and big movies, I guess.
Yeah, good mixture.
So, guys, best picture. Aaron, I know you didn't see Parasite,
No.
but me and Mike have. So I still have to say though, even though I did love it, the fact that it won foreign language film, I would have stuck with that. It
Yeah.
wins foreign language film, and then okay, it got its attention, it got its praise. I would have went another direction for best picture. I probably would have went 1917, or I would have went maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or maybe or Irishman. I would have went with those three. I didn't think Joker was best picture. Jojo
No.
Rabbit I liked, didn't love.
No.
And listen, I really loved Ford v Ferrari, but I knew it wasn't gonna win. I would have bet any
Right,
amount of money
right.
it wasn't gonna win, even though I did love it. It's my number 2 movie of the year. But I can't say Parasite is not worthy of Best Picture. It's a fantastic
it's a
film, but I would
I would
have
say,
went in
from what I
another
understand,
direction. Is the best thing I could say. I'm
Right.
happy he won. He was humbled, but I would have went a different direction. Maybe it's just me. What do you think?
No, I totally agree. I think 1917 is probably the safest bet. I think all around, the best of the choices.
You think that would have been like the safest, like
The
best one
safest
that
bet,
most
yes,
people would have
yes.
agreed with?
I think from because the sound was amazing. The
It's
soundtrack was
so
amazing.
technical.
so technical,
Yeah.
so tense.
Deakins got the. We didn't say that. Deakins got the cinematography, which is why I think part of the reason why Mendes
Yes.
didn't get the direction.
Yes.
They're like, yo, Deakins is the cinematographer. He put this like
Yes.
masterwork to
Yes.
crafted together.
So I think overall, the overall picture, I think 1917 is probably your clearest winner
Yeah.
for best picture.
Would you agree with that, Mike, or would you have done the double up with Parasite with foreign film and Best Picture?
No, I think that I would have liked to seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood win it. If 1917 did win, I would have had no problem with that at all. I thought that was an excellent movie.
Okay,
There-
so you would have went down pretty much down the same path. as
Yeah,
the
and
rest.
Irishman I would have been fine with. It would have surprised me, but I would have been like, okay, it's Irishman.
Roma won last year, right? for
No,
Best
it
Picture?
didn't.
Well,
It
who,
was-
who won
Green
last
Book
year?
won
Green
last
Book
year.
won.
Okay, so
Which
what
a
did
lot of
Roma-
people didn't like. Some people thought it was
Roma,
historically
which one?
inaccurate.
Which one?
Green Book. Some people felt it was
thought
very
it was a
historic.
very good movie.
I liked
It's
it.
okay
It was,
movie.
it was
I
in my
don't
top
know,
5
Best
last
Picture,
year. I
but-
enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, no,
people
I
said it
thought
was
it was
historically
excellent.
inaccurate. Danny, did you see Green Book?
Yeah.
You loved it. So so you're more on me with that one. People said it was. I've been reading up on it. People say they don't like it now because that is not the relationship
No,
that those two
you
guys had, and it's just like falsely saying like, hey, look, these two guys of different races and backgrounds are coming together, and they're like, that's not how it was. And I'm like, but the movie was good, and I enjoyed. Listen, for me, Mahershala Ali is one of the best actors
He's
in Hollywood.
so-
I can
oh,
watch
yes.
him in anything. He is so good, and I love
so
Viggo
good.
Mortensen too.
Yeah.
So I think it's just great. But yeah, so there was a little bit blowback on the Green Book thing, but you're not going to get in the blowback on Parasite. People did love it that much, and I understand it was that good.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's blowback, but it's just.
Oh, there's blowback because
yeah,
people
it's
didn't want because of the
silly.
foreign film thing.
Yeah, yeah. I
Right.
mean, it's silly. It's silly. I'm not like pissed that it won.
Yeah, me neither. I was just more surprised.
Yeah, it's just not what I was rooting for. But
Yes.
again, it was, like you said, it is worthy. Of
It's
the
worthy.
win. Yeah.
I would say, guys, we've been talking about winners and losers. Fair to say that the Academy with the show itself kind of lost, and Netflix lost. But the big winner of the night has got to be Joaquin Phoenix and Bong Joon-ho. Is
100%
that
yes.
a fair statement
That's
to say?
an absolutely fair statement. Yes.
All right, so guys, before we move on to the next topic, any other final notes on the Oscars? They need a host. They got to clean the show up. They got to get the audience back.
What is
You know
your
what-
prediction for next year's?
I think About who they will
If
have?
they pick one, who do you think?
Oh
will
my
be?
goodness! It's easy
Let's
to
do it
say
now.
Rock.
Let's pick it now.
Okay, I'm gonna say that. Maybe I go back to Rock because I've had Chris
Really?
Rock before. So
Okay.
maybe they say he's a little bit safer. We've had him before. He's extremely funny. People know who he is. They like him. Let's go back to him.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Rock. I'm going for it.
Who do you think?
Yeah, you said it confidently, like you had a thought.
I don't know. I know maybe The Rock.
Oh wow! I didn't. That would be
He is
crazy.
universally loved.
Universally loved, no controversies.
No controversy.
Everyone knows who he is.
Funny.
Does he want to do it though?
Oh, he wants to do everything.
You got to pay him though. He makes so
They'll
much
pay him
money.
whatever he wants. He's The Rock.
Yeah, they'll
I
be
would.
so desperate.
I think it will. I'll be honest with you. I think it will never happen, but I would love
would
it.
love it. I'd love
I'd
it.
love
I'd
it.
take
You'd
it
have
right
me
now.
day one to watch the Oscars. You have a thought, Mike, on who you think it might be, or you think
It would not be surprised if they try to make amends
Hmm.
and get Kevin Hart back.
Oh, that's a great. Wow, these are great choices. I didn't even think of these. These are great choices. Wow.
Interesting.
You know what?
I'd
I
be
wouldn't
one-
mind Hart. I'm
I
not the
wouldn't
biggest
either.
fan of his films, but I do think he's a funny guy.
He'll make
Yeah.
a good show. He'll be.
He
a good
will.
Host.
He's good at
He
stand-up.
would have been
He's
good.
good at
It's
all that,
disappointing
yes.
that it.
I don't think he ever should have been taken off. He said some
I don't
offensive
either.
things
Good
10
for
years
him
ago.
for
Who cares?
like standing his ground or whatever, and I feel but I feel like it's something that he wanted to do his whole life. That was like one of his dreams.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Mm-hmm. And
I heard that. Yeah.
And again, the Academy they're taking on water. They're losing ratings.
True.
You think they're panicking?
People are complaining about the host issues. People
Yeah.
are,
You think they're panicking? You think they're going to panic and
I
just
don't know if they're
officially make the
panicking,
move?
but it's Hollywood. They probably never think that there's a problem.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. That's a great point.
Yep.
Last thing I'll say is maybe they'll do the whole Rock Steve Martin thing. Chris Rock Steve Martin thing.
I don't think Steve Martin is relevant enough
But
these days.
he's-
It's
I
like
know what
he's
you're
a
saying.
legend.
He's a legend.
No, I'm not.
You pair him with
Dude, trust me, I'd be fine with that. But
me
I
too.
think they want to get like your idea with The Rock. I didn't think of that. And that's a good idea. That's something I can see them trying to do. If I real quick, one
Yeah.
thing I was super disappointed was the in memoriam that they show every year. Every year, that's
Every
like
year they do. Yeah.
Billie Eilish did a good job. I'll say this with yesterday.
She
I'll give her
absolutely-
that.
I don't know, man.
I
I
like-
felt like
I
I
loved
felt like
it,
it was
actually.
distracting, and I felt like they blew through it so fast that
They
like
did.
this
They did.
year, like I watch it every year, and it's always like one of the more it's how to say this, but without sounding weird, but it's a moment that I look forward to in the show.
No, I totally
the
understand that because it's a
somber-
celebration.
yeah,
It's not about death. It's more of a
And-
celebration of life.
This
So-
year, I just feel like there was more about that performance, and like they were literally like showing two people at once.
Yeah,
and
that's
it was like
true,
going
too.
by so quick. I was disappointed with that.
It was Billie
They
Eilish
left-
and her brother too.
Phineas, he writes a lot of her songs. Yes, it was her and his brother. Yeah,
and they left Luke Perry out.
that was disappointing. Oh man, yeah,
They should have showed some
absolutely.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer footage.
Yeah, that was strange.
That's actually really strange. Didn't think about
Yeah, and they left off what's his name?
They
from,
always leave somebody off.
Yeah.
Sid Haig.
Did they really?
Yeah, from the Rob Zombie.
No
Thousand
way, I know who he
Oh,
is.
yes.
You're right, they did.
Yeah, I heard the name and I was
Wow.
like, wait, why does that name sound familiar? Then I saw a picture of him. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe not a mainstream guy, but a
Did
horror
he die?
legend.
Hold on, did he die in 2019
Yes.
or 2020?
No, 19.
Really?
Yes. And I was like, man, not the most
See,
mainstream guy, but a horror legend.
That's disappointing.
And
It
Luke
really
Perry,
is.
no excuse. No excuse
Well, I
leaving
mean,
him
he
off.
was more of a TV star than a
Yeah.
movie star.
But he also was a guy in
still
the
a-
90s that could not walk down the street without being recognized. He was one of the biggest stars.
90210.
Yeah, he could not. He was huge.
Yeah, I mean, they gave a shout out to Kobe, which they should.
Which they should have.
He's gotten an Oscar, but
Yeah, no, absolutely, no problem with that.
they should include everybody, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. They
right.
definitely screwed up on that. All right, guys. So another big thing happened in the last week. Another little thing you may have heard. Disney's got some stuff going on.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
And they had Bob Iger came out. They had an quarterly earnings report, and they pretty much announced that Disney Plus is 10 times the success that I think anyone could have imagined. They came out and said the numbers. They had 28 million subscribers.
Impressive.
That is just absolutely staggering.
That's extremely impressive.
They had 10 million after the first weekend.
Right.
And that was ahead of schedule. They were like, wow, we did not think they were going to get to that. And now they have 28 million after, was it in 3 months?
Three
It came out
months,
middle of
yeah.
November,
Yeah,
right?
middle of November,
So
yeah.
they had 3 months, and they're at this now, and they're probably going to have 40 by the end of the year. Look, we knew this was going to be successful, but guys, tell me your thoughts. I didn't think it was going to be like this.
No,
This is
no.
10 times ahead of where we thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I mean, what are they now? 30% of Netflix
Yes, they are.
in 3 months.
In 3 months. And because the prices, let's admit, it's
Of course,
what's it,
of course.
$6.99?
Yes,
$7.
Now, can they keep this up
They're
with
gonna-
the content, with the pricing?
Yeah.
You know the pricing's going to go up eventually.
Well, they have
It
to.
has to.
It,
It has
has
to.
to.
Now, are they going to be able to keep up with demand for content? That's going to be the biggest question.
That's the problem they have right now.
Depends
People are
on the
just-
quality.
And do we know of enough content that's good enough to broaden the spectrum to bring in enough people, not just Disney people?
Right.
It will. It'll be fine. They got so much content. They got the brand names. You know,
got Star Wars and Marvel.
Exactly, and the Star
it.
Wars and the big
And The
screen.
Simpsons. That's huge too. People, I heard a good percentage of people are watching The Simpsons.
Yeah, they got all of Fox's library,
Yeah.
don't they?
They do, yeah.
Or whatever they choose to show
Right.
on it.
Like Avatar. Avatar's on there.
Of course,
Right,
it is.
right.
They're starting to crank up that hype machine.
The thing
They
that
got
surprised
to.
me about Disney Plus too is, a lot of people thought they were just gonna watch Mandalorian, jump in, and then leave, and then they're gonna have a little bit of a come down, and then they'll have to work their way back. Well, I heard people who have watched Mandalorian have watched at least 10 other things.
You know how many I
That-
watched?
Yeah, what?
One.
Oh,
Two.
What have you watched other than Mandalorian? What have you watched?
I can't even really think.
You don't remember?
I don't even remember.
Well, that's not a good indication for
Lion
Disney.
King and Aladdin. That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
I watched Aladdin.
And Little Mermaid. So 3 things.
Okay, so you're not in that 10 range where
Right.
you're watching
But
other things.
I completely am upset that I did a whole year. I wish I had done monthly.
Really though, because a year, you gotta.
How long am I gonna wait for the next thing? I'm really gonna want to watch it.
So you see, the fear for people is what you're doing, where you're just always waiting for the next thing. You can't just turn it on and say, "Oh, I have a wealth of content." You're like waiting up. This one thing is on. I want this next one thing. I want. Is that what you're running
That's
into?
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Is that what you're worried about, Mike? Where it's like they don't have quite the
No,
level
I think
of stuff yet.
to maintain their success, I think they do. I think they
For
got,
now.
Yeah, no, I mean they got. Well, they're going to continue, obviously pumping out Marvel stuff, which is, I'm sure it'll be a success. The Mandalorian, from all accounts that I've heard, was good. I heard
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
I
good.
heard it was something even, more in tone with the old Star Wars from
Yes.
the original trilogy.
Old school, gritty, boots on the ground kind
That's
of thing.
good.
Yes.
In my opinion, I
And
haven't seen-
Baby Yoda took over the internet, so that was pretty much all.
genius marketing.
Absolutely.
Of course. So they know what they're doing. They got all the stuff for the kids. So they got the kids in there.
Locked in.
They're working on a monopoly. They're slowly taking it over.
My
everything.
concern is if you don't have kids, you're not a Star Wars fan, you're not a Marvel fan. What is Disney bringing into the category to bring you in as a subscriber?
Nothing. Because
So how do you broaden your subscriber base to take over the realm of?
I think that they think there are so many people who are Simpsons, Marvel,
Okay.
Disney, or just all the brand in general,
Right.
and Star Wars. They're not going to care because they know there are so many people that fit into those categories of
Right.
Simpsons, Marvel, Star Wars.
Right.
It doesn't matter because look at all of us. Everyone we know, guys our age, guys younger than us, guys older than us, they all are into those things. So
But
what
how
are they
much-
worried about?
How much until you get Star Wars and Marvel fatigue, where you're like, all right, I need to go to Netflix because the content is so.
I'm with you. The Star Wars fatigue, I think, is already starting to set in.
It is.
Okay. Luckily, again, from what I've heard with the Mandalorian, it's a step back in the right direction. Marvel fatigue.
Great.
People have been talking about. Where's the Marvel fatigue? It's going to happen. It's going to happen for years now.
Right.
It hasn't.
And it hasn't
yet.
happened.
Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
Because they space the movies out well.
I can't speak to the series, but the next phase of their cinematic universe, the movie stuff, it doesn't look that exciting.
It's not as exciting.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before.
I'm excited about if they get Sam Raimi to do that Doctor Strange movie.
Yes.
That'll be exciting.
Listen, I'm fine with that. I like Sam Raimi, but I wish they kept Scott Derrickson. I love Scott Derrickson from before the first Doctor Strange.
Is
And I
he
thought
the
was-
one that they fired or creative?
creative? Oh, creative differences,
Yeah.
Mike. That's how it goes.
Well, that's how it goes working for Disney.
I know, but I was just so
It's a-
gung ho
it's
because I
a-
love
a
the first Doctor
factory.
Strange.
Right.
It's
It
a
is.
factory. It's
It
like that
is.
factory in Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, cranking.
We're just cranking out Star Wars and Marvel stuff
Yeah.
over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that they run into. Well, it's
Gonna slow down. There's because again, look, there was so much hype behind it coming out.
Crazy hype.
The app itself.
I was very excited for it.
So I mean, obviously, it's gonna slow down because it's new. Everybody's rushing to sign up for this, new thing that they promoted the shit out of.
Oh, like crazy.
Probably
The
better
marketing
than
was
anything.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was. I remember it coming up to the last 2 weeks before it came out. The marketing was absurd. It was everywhere. Everyone knew about it.
Everybody did. Yes.
It was so big. You couldn't escape it.
Yep.
In terms of their schedule, they have mentioned that so we have Clone Wars next week, which I think a lot of people are excited for. I know not everyone's into the animation, but they have Clone Wars coming, so that will help them for about a month or so.
Right.
And then the big 3 things that they announced that were locked in were Falcon and the Winter Soldier in August, Mandalorian in October,
yeah.
and then they moved WandaVision up from next year into December.
Right.
So do you think that they think that will cover their bases for the rest of the year? Because they're going to add, random Marvel and Star
Right,
Wars and different
right.
content throughout the year as time goes on. Especially like they added Toy Story 4 or they
Right.
added Lion King. So they'll add that, of course, over the course of the path of the time. But do you think those shows are enough to keep people onto that
I
year
don't think so.
subscription?
Not for 6 months. I mean, we're talking 6 months here, right?
Yeah, we're talking Clone Wars next week, and then we're talking August, November, October, and December. So it's more the end of the year. You think?
Yeah, that's a long time to be waiting.
I think it's
you
just
gotta
barely
have
enough.
something. You got to have something in like May, June. You got to have that one anchor for this.
Maybe
for the summer.
there's a couple animated movies that we're not thinking of that, because I'm sure they have a plan. I'm sure if they're smart, which we know Disney's figured it out.
Right.
Every month they know what's going to be on
Right.
the platform, so they're probably figuring these things will hold us.
They have to be using some sort of Netflix scheduling. They have to know.
Yeah. And they have
when-
original content that I'm sure that they care about that we don't care about, like that Willem Dafoe dog snow sledding movie. It's original. It's Disney original content, but I'm sure that they think that will be enough to hold people.
That
Until
sounds
they get
like
to the
something
big
kids
stuff.
would love. William Dafoe.
It does actually.
Yeah, and it's like I don't care about that. Whatever, fine. But for me, it is going to be just to be about the next big
It depends
show.
on the quality of the stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
they haven't done. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but they haven't released any Marvel series on this yet,
Not
have
yet.
they?
No.
Nope.
So
not
we
yet.
don't even know how those are going to turn out.
We don't know.
I'm sure people will love them.
I think. Listen, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be
That
awesome.
looks awesome.
I am hyped for
Really?
that.
Well,
You're not as big on those guys. I think they work well together in the Marvel movies, so I'm happy to see them do their own thing.
I don't know. I feel like they're two side characters.
Do you feel like you don't feel like they're strong enough to carry a show?
Maybe it depends on the show. It
Right,
could be good.
so you're interested. You're going to keep an eye on it. Or like-
I'll reserve.
It depends on the. It's gonna depend on the writing. It's gonna depend on the story.
Oh yeah,
Right,
it might
right.
be terrible.
Yeah.
I won't say that. And it might be terrible. It might be
the-
great.
The best part is when he threw the shield. So kind of reminiscent to Captain America, or Chris Evans. We're thinking,
Marvel loves their nostalgia.
are we going to see Chris Evans pop in there?
I've heard rumors he might. Pop up.
Are we going
That
to
would be
see
cool.
some Avengers in there?
How would he just show up as an old man?
Yeah, I wonder. That's the thing. I don't know how they're going to do this. The timeline thing
Wheel
is
him
so
in on a
weird now.
wheelchair.
See, that's the thing. It's like, and then when they talk about in the coming next year, after this year, they have Loki and the Cassian Andor series. And again, I like those characters in their worlds,
In their
But
perspectives,
am I going to
yes.
care about Cassian Andor in
As
a
a whole
series?
holding a series on their own.
Yeah,
You
and
might.
then it's just strange.
You might. Mandalorian was good. That's what they said.
Yeah.
You liked it, right?
I very much. I didn't love it. I liked it. It was very good. It had problems, but I think they're gonna really keep it going. And I think season 2 is gonna be better than season 1. I'll say that of Mandalorian.
We'll see.
And then Loki.
We'll see how many directors they fire up for creative differences.
You think that might happen? Well, Favreau's been in control of it, so it's been
That's good.
Mandalorian's
That's
been
good.
He's
Yeah.
been holding on to it.
WandaVision, I could care less about.
WandaVision's weird. I
So
thought I wasn't going
strange.
to care at all.
So
I've seen some
strange.
teasers for it, and it looks
It's
like it's
just
wacky,
strange.
fun.
It's weird.
It might be good.
It could be good.
It
It's
might be
just-
great. Like it looks just right
could
out
be.
there.
It could be. It's just very unorthodox.
I'm reserving judgment on that one. 'Cause that's the
Yes,
end of the
yes,
year.
yes.
And then the other one we said, Loki. Like again, Tom Hiddleston is awesome. I love watching him, but am I going to care about a series with Loki?
I know.
I don't know. So
So what's going to be the next movie?
we don't really know.
Oh,
They haven't really said
like
yet.
Guardians
yeah.
of Galaxy, probably.
That's on the back burner.
Well, that's
for
on
a
the
while.
back. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
gonna. That's gonna be
2022.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's a
because
ways
he's doing
away.
the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
first.
so he's
Yeah.
finishing. Gunn is finishing that, and then this year is only going to be. I shouldn't say only, but it's going to be Black
3 or
Widow.
4?
And,
3?
Black Widow and Eternals.
2. Okay.
Yeah, so they're
Okay.
they're smart. They're holding back. Only 2 movies this year. They're holding back. They're not doing 3 and
It's a
4.
slow
I
year
hope
for Disney.
Black
Yeah.
Widow does well.
I hope so
I do
too.
too.
Yeah.
It looks great.
I think it looks very good. I'm not blown away by it yet, but I think it's going to be.
I hope it's successful. She's been hanging around.
OG.
Yeah.
Oh, she's been
yeah,
around forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They finally gave her her due.
So, guys, infinite projections for Disney Plus. It's just going to keep going. You think it's going to just keep going up and up?
Everything
wait,
that goes up
Yeah.
must come down.
Every-
I think it's going to hit its peak, and I think it's.
you think it's going to hit the 60 to 90 million mark in the 5 years?
I think it.
They're
going
gonna
to
hit 40 by the end of the year.
How many does Netflix have total?
How much is
20,
it?
130.
I think it's right in the 130ish range.
And this is like worldwide.
worldwide. Yeah,
Worldwide, yeah. And we're already talking about 30 after 28 and a half after 3 months.
It'll do
know.
70. It will hit internationally. I think it'll do 78.
We'll see how many more studios it buys to get their property, and that's
That's
just
true.
that much less stuff on Netflix.
That's the thing. And Netflix, people don't want to talk about it. Netflix is getting hurt by that. I don't care what anyone says. Netflix is getting hurt by this. They have Hulu on the side as for all their supplemental
Yeah.
content. That's the thing. That bundle deal that everyone was talking about with ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the reason why Disney Plus is doing so well. That bundle deal, people jumped on
They're
it.
gonna get hurt because they're losing out on tons and tons of classic content, and
Yeah.
then they're losing out on all the popular stuff that people are watching today.
That's true.
The Marvel stuff, the Star Wars stuff. It's not good. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine in the long run, but it definitely takes a chunk out of them.
I think they're definitely going to hit the I think 60 million's a lock in the next 2 to 3 years, and then 90.
100%.
I think they're going to hit the 90 in the next 5.
It all depends on how Netflix reacts.
Netflix got to figure out what they're doing. They're losing. Their prices keep going up. And listen, I have Netflix. I love Netflix.
I mean, listen, I love Netflix because the content. The content's just phenomenal. Every month there's something I want to watch.
Yeah.
Like what I was saying 2 days ago, new Narcos came out.
Yeah.
There's
Mexico.
always something on
Amazing.
there.
Like,
There's
they
always great documentaries on
always
there. I
something.
think that's where I saw the
Fantastic.
American Factory.
That's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he told Aaron told me about it. I didn't
amazing.
even care about it. I skipped over it. He
Yeah.
told me it was great, so I watched it. And I was like, this is very insightful documentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, Netflix is in a weird spot. They got to figure out because they're also bleeding money. They're bleeding so much money, and Disney's just killing it. So these streaming wars really are a battle right now, where we got to see where it's all coming.
It's
in the
all
next couple
going to
years.
implode on itself. It's just, like
It's gonna. I think they're gonna. Just
there's
start
a lot
going
of
crazy.
these streaming platforms have one program that people want to watch. So the idea of these streaming services was to get rid of your cable and pay a
Right.
fraction of the cost and only watch what you want to watch. Now you have these guys that are all these streaming companies that are popping up. They're buying all the old content. They're buying like the Friends series and the Seinfeld
which cost a
series.
fortune.
All those things.
hundreds of millions of dollars.
And they're all coming up with their own original content, and it seems like a lot of them. If you, I don't follow like the Emmys every year, but
Yeah,
a
me
lot
too.
of them
I don't either.
are getting, studios that are coming out with quality. A lot of different
Yeah.
these.
Yeah. There's a baseline now of quality that I think a lot of studios have hit, and now they're all trying to break forward to get to that next big hit, like the next Stranger Things,
I agree.
or the next Daredevil,
Right.
or
But my
whatever
point
yeah.
is, like, all these different studios have their hits. So eventually, like, for people who want to see all these things, they're going to have all these different streaming services. You're eventually going to be paying the same, if not more.
That's what's
than
happening.
What we're paying for cable.
Cable, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's going to come down to Disney and the Netflix.
Yeah. Well, you see, the next one is CBS is canceling CBS All Access.
Yes.
They're
They're
canceling
merging.
what?
They're going to shut down CBS All Access and merge with Viacom. and
Aren't they
Starz.
doing the Star Trek stuff now?
They are, but they're going to merge all their content into one. So Viacom, Stars, they become one.
I've heard about that.
huge-
That's gonna be. It's gonna get so weird. Just all this content is gonna get lost in the
Just
shuffle.
It's gonna get
they're
to a
just
point where
making it easier for Disney to buy up
yeah,
a whole bunch of stuff
it's
with
just
one
so
swoop.
crazy.
It's so funny.
All right, guys. So before we wrap up, last thing I want to talk about tonight is I want to do a little box office discussion. So the thing that kind of got me a little confused the last 2 weeks was whenever these new movies are coming out, you always kind of feel like you have an idea of what's going to happen. You have a rough generalization of this movie. Whether you like it or not, will do a certain way. But in this weekend and last, we saw Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, and Harley Quinn
yeah.
not do well, but yet Sonic come out this weekend and just absolutely kill it. And I just want to throw it out there and say, like, what happened here? If you'd talked to me 6 months ago with where everything with the Joker and Harley Quinn was at, and where Sonic was going through its redesign and all that disaster that we can talk about with the redesign, why is Birds of Prey just dying right now, and Sonic is just killing it? And they both got good reviews, so let's throw that out there.
Yep,
they
they
both
did.
reviewed solidly in that 7 range.
Yes.
So taking reviews out of account, what happened to these movies? Like, how did we not project this? What happened that we didn't expect in the box office world?
I think the rating hurt Birds of Prey
In terms of what?
being rated R.
Oh, not the reviews. Their actual.
Yeah,
rating,
yeah,
the
no,
rating.
I got it.
Really, you think that hurt it?
I think it did. Because I just feel like she appeals. That character, I think she appeals to a younger audience, sort of. I know she has her fans, obviously, but for it's not really. This doesn't really surprise me. It disappoints me. I really was rooting for this movie.
Me too. I had no interest in seeing it, and I haven't seen either one of these movies.
Yeah.
But I wasn't rooting against them. I didn't want them to fail.
Hopefully it has legs. You never know what it could do in the long run to make it a modest hit or something. But
Well, I guess you have to look at the second weekends.
Oh, I heard it's not
It-
good.
well,
Yeah,
it did
that's
17.
It
Which
did
is-
17?
yeah,
So
what did it
33
do?
and then 17?
So yeah, so it's like 50%.
So
Yeah.
So you know what?
that's
That's
not that
nice.
bad of a drop, actually. 50% drop.
I heard they were
That's
studio was
normal.
hoping for 20 plus for the
What?
second weekend. I heard they were hoping for 20 plus.
Oh,
and it didn't
really?
even do that.
They
This is
thought
guys.
their name change was gonna.
Yeah, that wasn't a real name change though.
Comic-
They did
I
this for search
but
engine.
I think they're just
optimization.
using it as an excuse. I think, like I said, they were pushing the panic button on this one kind of
yeah.
early. You know,
They weren't pushing it hard. The
right-
marketing was crazy for this.
I don't know where they were marketing it towards. Women under 25,
they were-
under 30.
That's
were
my
ju-
point. I
that's
think
a great
I think
point.
it would have done better as a PG-13 movie, to be honest
Right.
with you. And I definitely love an R-rated movie.
Right, because you don't want them to censor. Right, you want the
You
real
know, yeah,
experience.
exactly. You
I mean,
know.
yeah, let's be honest,
I grew
right?
up on R-rated movies.
R-
but-
R-rated movies that are geared towards this are guy rated. These are guy films, right?
That's a great point because they marketed it toward they were doing the women thing.
They're doing
but over 60% of the tickets were who? Men over 20 and 30.
for Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey.
Is that
An
true?
Over majority of the audience was men over 20. I don't know if it was 25, whatever that range of 21 to 38 is that they look for. It was over 60%
It's a
men.
tough one, I guess.
Because she has first of all it's comics of course,
Right.
and she has a sex appeal.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's not
Of course.
pretend that Margot Robbie is not a draw. Of course,
is.
guys want to go see her,
appeal.
and there's
That's
nothing
the-
wrong with that.
Yeah. That's the only
so,
reason why
so they push
it's
the
one of
woman
the
thing, which is fair because it's a woman movie.
Right. Mhm.
But they know guys are going to go see it because they're the comic book fans. But it just didn't. Listen, I didn't think it was going to be I didn't think this was going to be $100 million weekend. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
didn't think it was
no.
going to go crazy. But on an 85 budget, I thought this was going to do. I heard they were hoping for the 45 to 60 range,
Right.
Which would have been very good.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's a serious. I heard some people say the February date was bad too. But they did the Valentine's Day thing,
Yeah, well, maybe if they release it on Valentine's Day.
which is what they did. They tried to do the Deadpool thing. That's why.
Deadpool,
That's also
yeah.
why this was rated R. They
Well,
went for the weird.
Valentine's Day's always been like a good day
Yeah.
for movies, obviously.
Yes.
You know, and
That's why
those
Sonic
are always
won.
like one of the most
Maybe.
busiest nights of the year.
That's true.
At the
Yeah.
movie theaters. And
Yeah, dinner and a movie.
Yeah.
American pastime.
I
Movie,
think
dinner, dinner, movie.
I didn't even think of that, but it probably would have worked out better for them if they had that date. They probably just, I don't know why. I don't see why they'd be scared to come out against Sonic. Like if maybe they thought the
Yeah.
date, I don't know.
But it's a different. That's okay. so I'm glad
January
you
and
said-
February is always tough. That's when
January,
it's
February.
garbage.
What do we say? It's the dumping ground.
Dumping
January,
ground,
February
yeah.
is always the
Yeah,
dumping
always,
ground.
always.
But
Yeah,
what
but
these
the
studios
Valentine's
do.
Day weekend is big usually.
What these studios try to do now is they're smart. They know it's a dumping ground, so they try to put a movie that they have confidence in out, so that way they know it will destroy all the
Yeah,
other crap
yeah.
that's out. Like that's why Glass came out in January of last year because they're like, oh, we don't care. We know we think we have a good movie. It will stand out amongst all the garbage, even though people weren't mixed on
Right.
Glass. But they obviously took that date for that reason. So going on the other side of that, how did Sonic end up being the best video game opening ever? Did that many people care?
Dads and sons.
You think so?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Sega Genesis thing?
Yeah.
Because Sonic is not the same as
I-
it's not the
I
90s
don't, yeah,
anymore.
I don't feel like Sonic has like the fan base that like Super Mario does, or something.
yeah, right.
like
he
that.
doesn't. Yeah, it's not.
You know,
It's not the
I
same.
just feel like it's dads taking their sons to the movies. It's the only thing that's
Yeah.
out now. I mean, what's out?
It's the
What's
only
out?
kids programming
Exactly.
since the beginning of the year.
And it got decent reviews. I like the fact that it's getting
It did.
70s.
And it's Jim Carrey, which appeals to all generations of men,
That is a
children,
good point.
age groups.
Well, he got
from
himself
us.
in a little bit of trouble before.
Yeah.
Right before it came
I
out.
heard he made a comment about a reporter. I
did,
didn't,
he did.
Was it bad or was it just overblown?
It was a little
hear that.
weird. It was a
Okay,
little
so-
weird. He said something along the lines of, "Oh, I don't even want to say it. Just look it up."
Yeah,
Okay,
he said
we'll
something.
do.
Something sexist. We say something sexist to a woman about.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was. He was like hitting on her. It
Oh,
seemed
okay,
like,
so whatever.
but I mean, it was still came across as
Creepy?
a little weird.
Okay.
a little weird.
So, but I heard though a lot of praise for Jim Carrey in this movie. I did again. You watched the trailer
The
from 6
trailer-
months ago. I did not think anyone was going to give a
No,
crap about Jim
Dude,
Carrey
also, you're talking about 6 months. People have been talking about this movie for 6 months.
because of the redesign.
And they feel
Yeah.
like Paramount listened to the
That's
people.
I think that's why it's getting some love too because they actually listened to the fans and
And
said this is
fixed it.
horrible.
And
Fix
fixed
this.
it.
And they moved it from what November to
3
this-
months, yeah.
They moved it.
Yeah.
They said we need more time, and they moved
And
it.
some of the
it
consp-
even surprises me that Sonic has that much of a fan base, like passionate fans that they like complain about the look. I guess that's how
I'll say this.
everything
He
is.
does have that fan base, but also the original design was so horrendous.
Scary.
It
So
was. I'm
scary.
like, I don't know
couldn't
how
even-
Sega approved
It
this.
looked like a rabid Sonic.
Yeah, it had like human teeth, and it didn't even look like the character.
Yeah.
So listen, they went first. They said they were
I
going to make
thought
the
they just gave
redesign.
him bigger eyes. That's all I know.
Oh, no.
Oh no,
horrendous.
complete overhaul. I'll show you
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
show. I'll show you the
Okay.
photo. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But they fixed it, and they at first were gonna hit the date But then they said, "Oh, listen, guys, we can't hit the date. We need more time to fix it. We're gonna make it right." And they pushed the movie back 3 months. To their credit, they didn't have to do that. And look, they're benefiting it now because the movie would cost what, like about $100 million to make.
80, say about 80.
Okay, and look, it's gonna make $45 million this weekend on President's Day.
It would have
weekend.
made more if they didn't have the China problem right now.
That is true too. That is 100% true.
Well, people are worried about your Mulan movie.
That is true too. A lot of people are worried about Mulan, rightfully so. It's a
Yeah.
really sad thing going on in China. It's going to affect the movie industry over there. So, yeah, the Sonic thing is just weird to me. I think there's a bunch of like it has like just good vibes going for it, and it's
I
just
think
doing
it's
well.
just dads and sons. Dads who played the game who have sons now, and it's something.
And it's a
to
movie
take-
for. Let's be honest, it's a movie for 10-year-olds. It's a like I heard somebody say, if you are over 10 years old, the only reason this movie is Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Because he's like the older
When
guy.
when I saw that he was casted as him, I was like, okay, I could see that.
Yeah, James
Dr.
Marsden,
Egghead.
I heard does a good job
Yeah.
too. He's solid. I heard Ben. I like people saying Ben Schwartz as
who?
as Sonic, as the voice of Sonic.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
from House of Lies.
Yeah,
I always
okay.
like that show. So I heard that was people appreciating. So it's a lot of little things in the movie that are just going well for it. And who knows? Maybe the second weekend is going to drop off horribly. But hey, the fact that it started off so well, can't beat that. You can't, that's a really big win for them.
Good for them. We'll see if I guess it's the record for video game
They said,
opening.
yeah, I read it was on Instagram. It was the biggest opening weekend ever for a video game movie.
So we'll see what happens when that Mortal Kombat reboot comes out.
Ooh, yeah, I'm so excited for that.
My fingers are crossed.
I hope so.
Thank God Wes Anderson isn't directing.
Hey, I like it. I like Wes Anderson.
I'm not a big Wes Anderson fan.
Oh, really? No, his new.
I appreciate him. He's very good at what he does. I love Fantastic Mr. Fox, but other than that,
Oh, you
I
like
can't-
all the Resident Evils?
no,
that's Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, it's Paul Thomas.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't get Wes
Yeah,
Anderson
yeah,
confused.
no.
Wes Anderson is an auteur. Paul Thomas
now
Anderson
I
cranks out
understand what you
Hollywood
were
nonsense.
trying
Yes. Now you see where I was going
Yes,
at. Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
So
He did direct the first one. Now that I think about it,
He did. That's what I
Yes,
mean. Yes,
yeah.
he directed the first one.
Yes.
Yes.
so that's
That's
true.
so funny.
It's so the last thing I want to ask you guys about before we jump off. Everyone is very excited for Batman coming out. There's a lot of hype for it. You know, Matt Reeves is doing it. We finally saw our first taste of Pattinson in the Batsuit. What did you think? A random show. They just came out of nowhere. We weren't expecting this. They're just shooting the movie now. What'd you think of the red hue with Pattinson in the suit? What was your feeling, Aaron, on that? Did
I
hit
liked
you?
it. I liked it. It was
Different?
different, organic. It was a raw Batman. I liked it.
You have any problem with Pattinson?
No, I don't.
You-
I know his past is a little bit, with the.
The Twilight.
The Twilight
I'm so past
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
He's been
he's
cranking out
he's
so
a
many
fine
good movies.
actor.
He's
good.
perfectly.
I think most people
representative.
realize that now.
Yes,
They're like
yes.
they're seeing that and they're
Yes,
like, okay,
I
I'm not
agree.
going to knock him for the
It
Twilight.
never
series.
matters who plays Batman. It always matters who plays Bruce Wayne.
It's true.
That's a great point.
Very true.
He can look good in the.
You can do the
Batsuit.
Playboy thing. Yeah, do the Playboy thing.
Very
But I think after seeing the Lighthouse,
Yeah.
I
you
I have
loved.
no problem with Pattinson being Batman.
Me neither.
We'll see how the movie is. It could be anybody.
Did you like the costume test that they showed of him in the suit?
Yeah, if what you see, yeah, it
looked
It
cool.
looks fine. It looks fine.
Tell me,
Looks
did
like
you guys
Batman.
hear this? I don't know how true this is. There's a rumor going around. They say the bat symbol on his chest
Mm-hmm.
is the gun that kills his parents.
As in what? What do you mean?
That like it's it's the gun
He made that
molded
into his
onto
bat
his
symbol?
chest.
Really?
And yeah,
I
I don't know how
didn't
true
hear
it is.
that.
I don't
Did
want to be
not
spreading
hear
fake
that.
news out here, but I heard that reported in a couple places.
Really?
And I'm like, wow, that is definitely that shows you that Matt Reeves is definitely going in a different path with Batman.
And
like,
this
they're
story
looking
takes
at it-
place on year 2 of Batman.
Yes, I heard that. It's a great point, Aaron. They said this is his second year, so he's still kind of learning the ropes. He's not a complete rookie, but he's still learning the ropes of what it means to be Batman. And
So
figuring out who he
is this
wants
a
to be.
more nimble, agile Batman?
Yeah, they're definitely not going for like the hulking because Pattinson's not a big
Yeah,
dude.
right,
He's slender. He's sleek. He's got like the military.
Right.
Right, they said the
It's
Batmobile is
physique.
like a muscle car-ish kind of thing.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh wow! See, listen, Matt Reeves did such a great job with the Apes movies that I am down. I am down for
Those-
his
those
vision, whatever
were
he wants to
good.
do.
Fantastic
I'm ready to Matt Reeves. Whatever money, what check, write the check.
Yeah.
I'm down for him. I think.
I wonder what the budget is. If they're putting a lot of money into
Have they
it.
announced that?
I don't think they've announced it, but I got to assume. Listen, it's got to be 150.
It's gotta
right?
be. It's
How could it be under 150? Like,
Yeah.
what's the cheapest Batman movie been made for? 125?
Probably something like
cheapest.
I
that.
want
Yeah.
to see like a cheap little like film noir Batman.
Would that work though?
Sure.
You think it would?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to rake in $1 billion. But,
Well, it's Hollywood. You need to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Mike. You can't.
but I mean, look what they. I mean, look what they did with the Joker. They made a fairly cheap.
Yeah, 45, 50 million.
Risk, kind of risky,
Very true.
And I don't know if I told you, like, if you watch the special features on the Joker Blu-ray,
Right.
There's an interview with Tom Phillips where he's talking about his how he made this whole thing or whatever.
His
And
vision.
I think they were talking to Bradley Cooper, who was the
Producer on it, yep.
and he was saying that Todd came to me with this vision for like cinematic for a cinematic universe. I'm not quoting him, but something along
Right.
those lines. And it was a very quick little thing, but it's stuck with me, and
Oh,
it made
okay.
me wonder if Todd Phillips has ideas for Batman in that universe or something like a small.
Oh, it might
little-
branch out.
Yeah,
that
maybe
way.
like an alternate universe kind of thing. It's just lower.
Could you bring them both in?
Oh, that would
So
be, I don't know.
Bring them together.
Could you?
I don't know. It's hard for
I
me to
don't know.
picture this Joker fighting
Fighting?
Batman.
Yeah,
Right.
There's no physical.
I mean, who knows what he's gonna? I hope they don't make a sequel to it. To be honest,
They might though. It makes
they
too much
will.
money.
Dude, yeah, I know. But
I would listen. I know what you're saying. I get why you wouldn't want to, but if they do it, I'd be excited for it.
I would too.
I would
can't
hope-
lie.
yeah,
I want to see. I want to see
wanna
Joaquin
see
Phoenix
that.
do it again. I have
Yeah,
to admit.
yeah, yeah.
and
I can't
who
lie.
knows what his character? Maybe the character
Yeah.
he becomes is somebody that we could see or causing havoc for Batman or something.
Yeah.
you
At
know?
the end of the day, Batman's got some of the best villains. So as long as you got the right villains,
I mean, the Joker. I'm no comic book guy, but the Joker is one of the
the-
all-time great villains in pop culture.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I agree.
You could do a lot with him. A lot of really.
Oh, it's endless
Obviously,
choices.
two actors won Oscars playing
the
the
Joker.
same
Yeah.
character.
Ledger and
So there's a lot. It's an interesting character.
it's an infinite world because we know this is not going to be Pattinson one and done. This is going to be probably a trilogy, or they're going to keep they're going to have all these different villains pop
It's
up.
got to be a
gonna
hit first. It's got to be a hit first.
Which I'm right now. Again, we need
Warner
to see a trailer.
Brothers is notorious. As much as I love Warner Brothers, and I think they're like the last real big
Yeah.
studio to face up against Disney.
True.
They are very bad at pushing the panic button.
They are. They
know,
revert quick.
I would look at again. They just did it with Birds of Prey, and you say it's not a title swap. I think they're. I think it is.
And
And other movies, that everybody knows about with them. So I think they need to just step back a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's got to be a hit, though.
I
It's
agree.
gotta be
Oh
a
yeah,
hit.
it has to be a hit. If it, there's no question.
It's
It has to be.
Batman.
It's Batman. So at the end of the day, you assume it's probably going to be.
Right.
All right, guys.
agree.
So I think that pretty much wraps it up for our podcast right here.
Awesome.
Hit a lot of good topics today. So before we jump off, just want to tell you guys here on YouTube, movies that don't suck. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to hear our podcast with just the audio, you go on anchor.fm/mtds. We're on every major podcast platform. The Spotify, Google, Apple. Wherever you want to check us out. So guys, I think that's gonna wrap us up for the night, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you. Have a great
Take
night.
care, guys.
Take care. Have a good night.